Yes, sir.
All right.
This is the same description as what Juliet had, or?
It is, and, you know, you kind of wrestle with, is this the time to really take a look at the job and maybe think of something that's a little more all-encompassing, or change it in some way. I haven't gotten a whole lot of feedback from the department. Fire chief's here, and a couple members from the department, they might be willing to share what their thoughts are. You know, as of right now, I think everything is moving along. It's not like there's a crisis that we need to fill the position immediately. My sense also is that if we post internally, we're probably going to find some folks that are close to meeting the qualifications, but maybe don't have all of them. And I don't think that's, I'm not sure that we should necessarily hold to that the person we hire has to come in the door with every experience. I think understanding the service is more valuable than necessarily bringing in someone from the outside. I've thought about different suggestions, maybe looking at how this could interface with the fire department. We're really talking about adding more hours to the job, and I'm not sure that our budget really allows for that. So, to me, we ought to at least post it, see who we've got.
How many an hour a week?
It's 30.
30?
Yeah.
You guys got anything to add, Paul or Kurt?
I think what he just said sounds good, because everything's taken care of at the fire department the way it is right now.
Yeah.
We want to keep the
Which we don't
plants
have
running up the way it
we don't have
is.
a budget that we can afford to hire somebody for 10 hours.
So we would have to allocate additional funding from our budget, and I'm not sure that they would be worth. We wouldn't have the bang for the buck, so to speak.
The way this position, like you were saying, the way this position opening reads, it says that the person should possess or have the ability to obtain
Right.
certification. And anybody who is an EMT would have the ability to obtain the further certification. They might not have it, but they could certainly get it.
And they very well may bring other skill sets to the job that I think are worth understanding and weighing in as we would go forward. But we don't know who we've got interested in until we post it. I have been approached by one member, so I just told her when the job gets posted, she should apply, and we'll go from there.
I move to approve the posting of the position.
So what is this position?
Motion, do I got a second? Sorry, Roger. Got a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Hansi, second by Mr. Dahl. Go ahead, Roger, please.
So what does this position consist of? Is it a position that could be handled from City Hall?
No.
No.
City Hall do any of the work now for it?
We've always done the billing through here, always. So that's not anything different.
They give you the run sheets, and they tabulate it so that we can input it for the billing. Julianne, I think, is doing most of that now. And then if there's a question about it, then you have somebody you call down at the service and say, what does this mean? And they can kind of work that out.
How many, excuse me, how many hours is this based on?
30.
30 a week.
30 hours a week?
The job also, in talking to Julie, it's filling those daytime hours right now that are pretty difficult to have somebody. And so when she was here, and although her hours started to fluctuate as well towards the end because of other responsibilities she had in her other career, I think we would want to really make sure that the person we bring in is going to cover those daytime hours. But they could go on 3-4 calls a day sometimes. Yeah. Some are transfers, but it's still a call. They're still out. You know.
We don't have transfers anymore on our paperwork.
Well, whatever you call them.
All right, any more questions? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you. We'll get that position posted. Thank you, Chief.
Well,
Thanks, Kurt.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Kurt.
everything.
And one thing to add, I think Rushford area is very blessed and happy with the ambulance service we have here. Fire department, of course, too, but the ambulance service, we got it pretty good here. And we don't want to turn into problems other communities have.
No, and in fact, some of those other communities are reaching out to us to look about expanding our reach. So that's gonna be an issue that we're gonna have to confront one way or the other. You know, do we want to take on the added responsibility of another service? Or if that other service goes away, then the state is just gonna redraw our lines and we're gonna have a much further area to cover anyways. So there's some challenges, certainly there's some challenges ahead. But they've always been there for rural emergency services. And I know that the folks on that service on our service will figure out the best way to deal with it.
That being mill rate funded, how much input do the townships or the outlying areas, have in this decision?
I don't know, cause this is the first time this has come up. So Kathy, do you have any, are they involved in the hiring process or?
No, they contract for service, so, and this is a city employee, you know.
Right, that's what I thought, so.
So they're just contracting for the service, they pay per capita.
So how far does it go out now?
It's basically the same as what the fire department is, basically. There's 10 townships that you contract with. You know, Peterson and the village, and then 8 other townships.
Depends on the direction we're going, Roger. It can change from 10 to, up to 20 miles in some flats. It's not a perfect circle.
The state sets boundaries for the fire departments, right? And they
Yep.
do the same for the ambulances too.
So now you said they're talking about expanding the area? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, if some of these other departments go out of service because they don't have enough EMTs, then the state is gonna come in and say, your line doesn't stop here, you're gonna go further out. And they just redraw the lines so that there's coverage. So I think it's in our best interest to try to figure out ways that we can help the smaller services survive and continue to provide, adequate service to their populations, or we're gonna have to pick up the slack.
And we wanna keep the service that we've got, which is superior service right now.
Right.
Oh, I'm not questioning that.
Yeah, so the further out we go, the more calls potentially we're gonna have, the more we're out of our service area to cover them.
It's probably best to be proactive about this rather than
And I
having it
was,
thrust upon us.
I was just alerted of this yesterday, and so we'll get to work on it this week and find out how we can help.
Okay.
Alright. Anything else?
Who expressed
Lanesboro.
that concern? Lanesboro? Houston?
Waynesboro and Preston both are having issues.
The same thing happened, Wyckoff lost their service. Chatfield and Spring Valley and other communities around there had to pick up their service territory. So. The requirements for being a volunteer haven't gone down, they're only going up. And it's just harder and harder to recruit people and keep them, especially, in this, but we're blessed, we got a strong group of people. And, we should continue to support them.
You know, another thing is we have a good support from the businesses in town. But if you, say if one of your employees is an EMT and they have to go
Right.
way the hell
Yeah.
far out in, that could be a 4-hour trip to go get a patient, take him to Rochester and come back again, that's asking a lot of an employer too.